Hey everyone, welcome to homework 1.15. Today you're going to read the story and jot notes on the side here, and you're taking notes on what happens in the story. So your notes might be different than someone else's, and then you're going to come up with meanings for these words right here. So let's take a look. I'm going to read it and then we'll come up with our main points. So Miss Loomis's classroom was in complete disorder. Earlier in the day she had made the mistake of telling her students they could rearrange their desks. Things had got quite quickly out of hand. She had overestimated the students' ability to do this on their own. It resulted in an unbelievable mess. Some desks were sideways, others upside down. A collection of them was stacked in the corner in an impressive tower. In the process of moving them around the room, pens, pencils, erasers, notebooks, and every other manner of desk contents had spilled onto the floor. It was chaos. So to start for my note here, I'm going to say Mrs. Loomis's classroom was a mess because she allowed them to rearrange their desks. Okay, so we have kind of setting up what has happened and what has caused our problem. Let's keep reading. The worst part was that there had been no time to correct this disaster before the last bell of the day. Tonight of all nights was the mid-year parent-teacher conferences. How could she explain this classroom turmoil to the parents? Maybe say that she was trying to teach the students to be independent and empower them to make a change, but they weren't prepared for? No, that wasn't good enough. Maybe she could say it was some kind of sculpture, part of a collaborative art project. No, that was nonsense and dishonest. Finally, Mrs. Loomis decided she'd just relocate her conferences to the cafeteria and make up some excuse why her classroom was unavailable. She placed a sign on her classroom door that read, "Conferences will be in the cafeteria." She then underlined the word cafeteria to make sure it stood out. So Mrs. Loomis decides to move her parent-teacher conferences to the cafeteria. All right, so we know what happened as a result of the room being a mess. Let's see what happens now. Tomorrow, she'd have the students put the room back exactly as it was. Even if it took all day, the classroom would be transformed back to its original state. So another detail that we could say here is that she considers telling the parents different stories about what happened to her room. And then ultimately she decides to just have it in the cafeteria and she will have the students fix the room the next day. Okay, so as you read, you should always be taking little notes, jotting things down in the margins to help you. Now, it can be notes like I took today, but it can also be questions. So if you, as you're reading, you have questions about what you're reading, that's a good habit to have. So for this part, we're thinking about what do these words mean, and you can use the text. So it was in complete disorder, and we know that it's a mess. It was chaos, right? So disorder, dis means not. So this is not in order, right? So the room is not orderly. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna put a little text box here. So disorder means not in order, right? Dis equals not, right? So this is not in order. All right, mistake. Okay, mistake means to do something wrong, sometimes on accident. And so like dis, miss means not, right? And so this is a take that didn't go the way we wanted it to. All right, rearrange. So re means to do again, and so this means arrange again, right? If we rearrange the room, we arrange it again. Okay. Overestimated. So overestimated means that over means too much, right? So we overestimated means that we estimated too much, okay? So you should probably estimated too much or more than accurate. So she overestimated. She expected them to be able to do more than they were able to. Unbelievable. Un means not, so this is not believable. Oops, not realistic. Okay. Mid-year. Mid means middle. Year is a year, right? So middle of the year. So we can assume since it's middle of the school year, this is probably in like January or February. Independent. So dependent means to rely on somebody else. If you're independent, not relying on anyone else. You can do things on your own. Empower means to give power to someone else to do something for themselves, right? So if I empower you to do your homework, I'm giving you the power to do that. I'm hoping that the homework videos empower you to complete it. Okay, nonsense. Non means not, so not sensible, without sense. Okay, we say a nonsense word, it's a word that doesn't make sense. Dishonest. So we saw dis above here with disorder, and we said that's not in order, so dishonest is not honest, right? Not telling the truth. Relocate, again, re means to do something again, so locate something again, or move again. And, oops, I don't mean to put that all the way up there. Let's do this one here, okay. Unbelievable, so again we have that un, meaning not, something is not, so this is not believable. Underlined, under means beneath, so to line beneath, oops, beneath a word. And then last but not least, transformed. So transform, something with trans in the front means to change. So change the form. This is another way to say reorganize, or to change how something is formed. All right, so today's code word will be equality, since that's one of the words we looked at today. So today's code word is equality. Write that here for extra credit. Happy homeworking, and I'll see you tomorrow.